Hey folks, and welcome back, and in today's video we'll be looking at how actually you can invoke Home Assistant using a wake word. Now last week Home Assistant released this particular feature wherein you can invoke Home Assistant automations or Home Assistant devices using a wake word such as OK Nabo, or in this case we'll be using Hey Jarvis. So today we will be looking at how actually we can set up this particular assist pipeline using a USB microphone to trigger Home Assistant to actually turn on a particular light. So with this, let's get started. To start off, actually what we need is a USB microphone. So I have this particular headset, which has this microphone, and this I have connected using USB to my Home Assistant. So now I'm running Home Assistant OS on the Raspberry Pi, so I've connected this to my Raspberry Pi. So first of all, what we are going to do is we are going to set up a pipeline, that is the assist pipeline, which will require some of these components. So first of all, we will need a speech to text add-on, we will need a text to speech add-on, and then finally we will need a wake word add-on to wake that particular assist pipeline. So for the speech to text, we are going to use the whisper add-on. Then for the text to speech, we are going to use the Piper add-on, and then finally we are going to use the OpenWakeWord add-on for the wake word integration. Then finally what we are going to do is we are going to actually integrate this particular USB microphone using this assist microphone add-on. So let's first actually set up this particular assist pipeline, and then we'll look at how we can add the microphone to this particular integration. So first of all, let's go to settings, and in settings, let's look at our voice assistant pipeline. So this is the voice assistant default pipeline that is present here. I'm going to open this here, and here you can see we have this speech to text section, text to speech nothing, as well as a wake word there is nothing. Now remember that you will need Home Assistant version 2023.10 version for this option to be available. So make sure that you have at least 2023.10 version of Home Assistant for this wake word integration. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to now install my first add-on, that is the speech to text one. So for this, I'm going to go to settings. In my settings section, I'm going to go to add-ons, and in add-ons, I'm going to go to this add-on store here, and I'm going to search for whisper. So I'm going to install this whisper now. So I'm going to click on install here, and this will take a little bit of time. So let's wait for this. So now the whisper add-on is installed. Now before we start this whisper add-on, let's look at its configuration. So if I see here, we are going to use this tinyInt8 model for actually detecting our speech to text, and we are going to use the English language, and this is a default configuration that comes with this particular add-on. So we are going to use this tinyInt8 model because we are running this on the Raspberry Pi, which is very low powered, so we're going to use this model. Now I'm going to go back to info, and I'm going to now start this particular add-on. So this will take a little bit of time to start, so let's wait for it. So now we have started the whisper add-on. Next, what we will need to do is actually integrate this with Home Assistant. So for this, I'm going to go to settings, and I'm going to go to devices and services. And if you see, this will be automatically detected because we have this particular add-on. But in case if you cannot find this automatically detected, you can search for Yoming protocol here, click on that, and then you can click on set up another instance. In this case, since it is already discovered, we are going to just click on configure here. So I'm going to click on submit. So with this, we have started the whisper add-on, and then we have integrated this with Home Assistant using this protocol. So now next what we're going to do, let's actually go to our pipeline, and we're going to update this particular pipeline. So I'm going to go to my voice assistant section, and I'm going to go to this particular pipeline. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to this text to speech. I'm going to click here, and as you can see, you have this faster whisper here. So I'm going to click on this, and then I'm going to select English, and now I'm going to update this. Okay, so we just set up the speech to text section, right? Let's actually test this thing. Now, if I go back here and I click on this assist button, and when you click on this particular button here, it will say you need HTTPS for this microphone to work here. So Right now I'm running this particular Home Assistant without any HTTPS support. So there's no SSL certificate that I have provided to Home Assistant. That's why I cannot use the microphone capabilities from the browser. Now to test this thing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Home Assistant companion app on my phone. So I have the companion app open here right now. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this assist section. And now if you see, there's a microphone option here. So I'm going to speak in this now. Turn on light. So it's actually detected what I spoke. So let me try this again. Turn on light. And as you can see here, this light has been now turned on in the screen. So now this integration is actually working for us. So the speech to text section is right now working. So this is the first part. Let's look at the other part now. Now what we are going to do is we are going to do the remaining parts of the assist pipeline. So I'm going to close this right now. And next I'm going to install Piper. Now to install Piper, I'm going to go to Addons and I'm going to go to this add-on store and I'm going to search for Piper. So now this will do the conversion from text to speech using Piper. So let's install this from here. This will take a little bit of time. So let it install now. So Piper is right now installed. Let's go to the configurations and see this. So we can change the voice that we want when we convert the text to speech using this option here. And I'm going to keep it right now default and I'm not going to change any of these particular options here. And then I'm going to go to the info section and I'm going to click on start here. So this will actually start Piper for us. Let's give it some time. It will take a bit of time to actually start up. Now Piper has started up. What we have to do next is actually connect this to Home Assistant. So again, I'm going to go to settings. I'm going to devices and services. And here it is automatically detected. So I'm going to now click on configure. And this is actually now going to configure a Piper integration for us. So now let's click on finish here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my pipeline. So let's go here and I'm going to now go to my voice assistant. And then I'm going to open this pipeline and in my text to speech, I'm now going to get this Piper option. So I'm going to select Piper. I'm going to select the language and I'm going to select this voice here. Okay. So I'm just going to keep the default settings here and I'm going to click on update. Now the last part that we have to do is have this WakeWord enabled, right? So for this, let's go and install our OpenWakeWord add-on. So let's go to the add-on section and I'm going to search for WakeWord. And here I'm going to click on install. This will take a little bit of time. Now the OpenWakeWord is now installed. Let's actually look at its configuration. So in the configuration, these are the default values and we are just going to keep it as is. We're not going to change this. We can obviously change this based on what we want later, but as of now, I will keep this to keep things simpler. So let's go to info section and I'm going to now start this particular add-on. Now this will take a little bit of time. So let's wait for it to start. So the OpenWakeWord is now started. What we're going to do is obviously we're going to now integrate this with Home Assistant. So let's go to settings and then I'm going to go to devices and services and it's also detected here again. So I'm just going to click on configure and click on submit. So now we have done all the three integrations, that is Piper for text to speech, Whisper for speech to text and OpenWakeWord for using our WakeWord. So let's now go to our pipeline and we are going to update this WakeWord integration. So let's go back here. See here, we get this particular option. So we are going to have here this OpenWakeWord and you can choose your WakeWord that you want. I'm going to right now going to use Hey Jarvis and this is going to be my WakeWord actually. Let's update this right now. So with this, we actually set up the assist pipeline. But now how can we invoke this particular pipeline using the WakeWord, right? So today we'll be looking at how we can do this using the USB microphone. But in my future videos, we'll be looking at how you can use an ESP32 with a microphone to invoke this particular pipeline using the WakeWord. Also, we'll be looking at how we can actually set up the Atom Echo smart speaker from M5 stack to actually invoke this particular pipeline. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and also hit the bell button to make sure you get the notification once the video is out. So right now what we are going to do is we are going to actually set up the USB microphone. So for this, what we will have to do is you will have to go to settings, go to add-ons here, and here I'm going to install an add-on called as assist microphone. So this assist microphone add-on which is there, I'm going to click on this and I'm going to click on install. Now this will take a little bit of time now. So now this assist microphone add-on is installed. It took some time, like literally 5 to 10 minutes for me to get it installed. And now what we are going to do is we are going to go to this configuration section and look what we need. So first of all, we need to add the Home Assistant token for this. So for this, what we are going to do is we are going to go to this profile here, and then we are going to scroll down, and then we are going to create a new token. So I'm going to call this as USB token, and I'm going to hit enter. And now I'm going to copy this particular token, and I'm going to go back to my settings, go to add-ons, and then in my assist microphone, I'm going to go to my configuration and I'm going to paste this particular token here. So this is the Home Assistant token. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this web RTC VAD. So this is the voice activity detector, that is, it's going to detect my voice, and this is the one that I'm going to use. So if you have a powerful machine running, then you can use the Celero option. But right now, since we are running this on a Raspberry Pi, this uses less CPU, so we will use this option right now. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down here and then we're going to click on save. So we did the first configuration. Next, what we're going to do is we are going to set our input. So here I'm going to select my USB microphone. So this is a Sennheiser one that I have. I'm going to select this, and that's all that I'm going to specify here. You don't need to change the output here because right now we are only setting up the input part. So let's go ahead and save this. So now our configuration is saved. Now there is one more thing that I want to enable here is this particular option, that is the debug logging option. So I'm going to turn on this debug logging such that we can actually see the logs of this particular add-on in this tab here. So in this log section, we will get to see our debug logs to see what has gone wrong or if it is working properly or not. So I'm going to save this also now, and then I'm going to go to the info section and I'm going to start this particular add-on right now. So now this add-on has quickly started. So it's now running, and now we can actually use this USB microphone. So first of all, let's go to our dashboard here. So here in this dashboard, I have this light switch. I'm going to turn it off right now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to now try and invoke the assist pipeline. So let me actually bring this particular microphone here now. Hey Jarvis, turn on the light. And as you can see, the light has now turned on. So it took quite some time here to actually turn on this particular switch. So you need to be a bit patient because all of this stuff we are running it on Raspberry Pi. So now if you want to debug this, like to see how much time it actually took, what you could do is you can go back to the settings here, go back to your voice assistant, and then in this pipeline, click on this part and then click on these three buttons here and click on debug. So this will show you actually all the pipeline executions. So let's look at what actually it found out in my previous pipeline execution. So in my previous pipeline execution, as you can see, the wake word took like 0.9 seconds, but the speech to text took around literally 10 seconds. Then finally, it took around 0.3 seconds and the text to speech took around 0.03 seconds. So this is how you can detect how long it actually took to actually process the entire pipeline. Now, if you see here, it's actually showing that it did not find a wake word because right now it's continuously listening and it's trying to figure out if there is a particular wake word. So as I'm speaking to y'all right now, it's actually detecting this and it's trying to run the pipeline. So now another way that you can see and debug if that particular microphone add-on is working or not, what you could do is go back to settings here. So I'm going to go back to settings and I'm going to go to my add-on right now. And I'm going to open this assist microphone and I'm going to go to this log section. So in this log section, what we have to look for is this waiting for speech. So waiting for speech tells that it is right now actually waiting for the wake word. So the next step of waiting of this speech is actually it will search for the wake word. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open two browsers here. So let me open this here and I'm going to arrange this quickly. So now I have opened up two windows. This side is the log from our assist microphone, and let's actually go ahead and refresh this. So on clicking refresh, you should be seeing this waiting for speech. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to now invoke my wake word. So let's actually use this. Hey Jarvis, turn off the light. So as you can see, the light is actually now turned off. It took some time because yeah, it's running it on Raspberry Pi. So this is the way you can actually debug your pipeline and see if this particular add-on able to actually pick up the particular voice. So you will have to search for something like this, waiting for speech. And in my previous command that I had given, that is turn off the light, you can see this here. So here you see turn off the light. So this is the thing that it detected and it actually turned off this particular light. We can again go and look at that particular pipeline. So let's go to our pipeline and then I'm going to go to debug and then I'm going to now find that particular pipeline. So as you can see, this was what it detected in the pipeline, which we also saw in our log output also. So it figured out it is turn off the light and it actually turned off this particular light from here. Now, since all of this I was running on the Raspberry Pi, it took literally like 9 seconds to run. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually connect the Docker images that I'm running on my server, which has a powerful CPU, and then connect it to Home Assistant. And then we are going to do the exact same stuff and see how much time it takes. So now let me actually go ahead and connect this to Home Assistant. So now what I have done is I'm running the containers for Whisper, Piper and OpenWakeWord on my server, which has a more powerful CPU, and then I connected them to this particular Home Assistant instance. So now we will be looking at how actually this thing performs when you have a more powerful hardware. So let me actually refresh this right now. And when I see this waiting for speech, I'm going to call the wake word. Hey Jarvis, turn on the light. So as you can see, it quickly turned on this particular light here. And now we will actually turn off this particular light. So, hey Jarvis, turn off the light. And as you can see, it instantaneously put off this particular light. So with a powerful hardware, this thing works really fast. So now actually let's go ahead and look at our pipeline. So for this, I'm going to go back to my voice assistant here, and then I'm going to open this pipeline. I'm going to go to debug section. If you see here, the turn off light which I had given, it actually completed this within 2 seconds, the conversion, which on the Raspberry Pi took nearly 10 seconds, and the others are really negligible amount of time that it took. So here we saw that running the containers on a server with a more powerful CPU, we were able to execute the entire pipeline in a much faster way. Now I will be creating a video about how you can actually run these containers on a server and then connect it to Home Assistant so that you can get optimal performance. And for this, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and also hit that bell icon so that you get notified once the video is out. I'll be showing this step by step so that you can run this on a server. Now, if you don't want to do the Docker setups and stuff, you can always run this Home Assistant OS on a much powerful hardware which has a powerful CPU. Finally, what I want to do is I want to thank the Home Assistant team for providing us this beautiful feature wherein we can actually invoke commands on Home Assistant using this particular wake word. This is a much awaited feature. I think many of us were waiting for this, and now we no longer have to use Google Home or Alexa or HomePod to actually turn on lights, turn off lights, or trigger any kind of automations inside Home Assistant. So I really thank the Home Assistant team for this. So we just saw how we can actually invoke Home Assistant using this wake word and set up this particular assist pipeline. Now in my next videos, I'll be showing you how actually you can use an ESP32 with a microphone such that you can trigger an automation inside Home Assistant using the wake word. So if you like this particular video, make sure to hit that like button as well as hit that subscribe button for more such videos to come. Till then, take care and I will see you in my next one.